Hello, everybody. Welcome to this edition of Python with Friends. We started Python with Friends a couple of weeks ago, probably up to 2 months. And we've been playing around with a bit of Python, and then we moved to a bit of pandas. And now we've done some data wrangling. And what I want to do right now is to do a project, mini project that we'll touch on a few of the things we've been learning as we've been going along with this weekly editions. However, I want to announce that subsequent videos I might not use Colab again. One of the reasons why I was using Colab was because I wanted those who were joining for the first time who didn't know so much about Python to just start coding Python. But now I'm going to switch to Jupyter Lab or Jupyter Notebook, depending on what I want to work on. Everything I'm doing in Jupyter Lab and Jupyter Notebook, you can do in Colab to an extent. If you want to install Jupyter Lab or Jupyter Notebook, there are a couple of videos online that can help you do that. I hope that as you've been following me, things have been picking up for you as you grow in your knowledge of Python. Today we have a small project again, and we want to learn what we've been doing. Let's recap using a small project, a SalesData. This video was inspired by another video I watched a couple of years ago by Keith Galli. I'm going to put his link or the link to his YouTube channel somewhere here in the description. And I also put a link to his GitHub repo where I got some of the data sets he used. I'm going to try to do a few of the things he did in that video, not all of it. And I'm going to use the chaining method that I learned from Effective Pandas by Matt Harrison. I fell in love with it. And so many of my students at work and off work have been using the same method, and I hope it helps them. This is like the man who just discovered how to use a hammer and assumes every problem is a nail. That is what I'm going to do in this video. This video came out a bit late. I wanted to shoot it the last weekend that just passed, but I couldn't just complete it because I insisted I must use my hammer to solve the problem. Along the line, I had issues, but I learned quite a few things. And I hope as you grow in your knowledge of Python and pandas that you also make mistakes or make you learn a couple of things. Well, I've been rambling and rambling and rambling. We need to get this show on the road. So without much ado, let's hop onto our Colab, maybe one more time. All right, as usual. Just do it this way. We'll create a new notebook. It's a bit dry where I am in Addis Ababa, so I need to wet my throat a bit. So what I'm going to do is, because I had to download like a couple of Excel sheets from Keith Galli's YouTube channel or his GitHub repo. So I have to attach my runtime to my drive, connect to Google Drive. I'm sure we remember how to do these, but let's just watch. There we go. Now I'll come to this, my drive here, and click here to create a new folder, which I've done here. I just don't want to waste our time, but I'm just showing you this to recap. And after I've come here, I will go to upload. Then I'll go to where I have my sales data on my desktop, and then highlight everything or do it one by one, depending on how fast your internet connection is. I did it, there were about 12 or so. I tried them and they were not working well. So what I did was I had to use, I had to go by 3s or by 4s before it worked. So it depends on how good your internet connection is. So for me, it was 3344. And then I did it just a couple of times. I was able to upload everything. So just upload everything and it's going to be where you want it to be. So I want mine to be in SalesData miniProject. You can give it any name you want. So it shows I'm connected to my runtime. So what I'm going to do now is it's just so important. Some of the things I feel I need, right? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to import pandas, PD. And I want to import something called OS. I'll tell you why I'm importing that. Import OS. What else? Well, for now, we'll just run this. If we need to import anything, I will do it. All right, so what I want to do now is to go back here and copy this location by right-clicking on it, and you see copy path. So as usual, I tend to call it path. So let's just call it path. Here, we put it in quotation marks and we run that. So what I'm going to use this OS, why I imported it is to use it so that I want to move my present working directory, my present working directory to where I stored those files, because it's going to make it easier for me. If we type something like pwd here, we can see which directory we're stuck in, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call that OS that I imported here. I'm going to do it .change directory. There you go. So waiting for the type hints. And I'll put my path inside and I'll run it. It has stopped running, so I'm assuming that it has changed my directory to where this path is. That is where those files are. So I could just come back here and run this pwd, and I can see it has changed. I'm in the miniProject folder. So I can now use ls just to see the contents of my present working directory, which has all those files that I've imported, right? All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to import another file called glob from glob import glob. And what I'm going to use that to do is to copy out these files, bring them out, and use them and run them. So I'm going to just store them in a variable called files. And I'm going to say equals to glob. Put this in quotation marks. Now, I want us to ignore this first file. And we're going to concentrate on every other file that has sales before it. So I'm going to start typing sales. Now, and I'll move like this with the underscore. I can see sales and underscore is common on every other file except for the month. The year is the same, but I don't bother. I'll use asterisk now to capture everything else. Then I go to .csv. I hope that is clear. I want to collect all those files and set them into a variable called files. So all these files apart from this. So what is common to all these files apart from this file is that all of them have the word sales beginning with a capital S. So that's what I wrote here. Then the underscore, then different months here, which we can represent with this asterisk. It means every other thing, because we can't capture it. I don't know how to explain it, but if you play around with it, you're not going to have problems understanding what that is doing. So I run this, and it has run. So I guess it has done it. So let's check files. Aha. Can you see that? All the files with the sales are inside. So all of these files, apart from this one, all these files are here. So he selected them and stored them in a list called files. That is exciting. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a data frame, an empty data frame. So I can just get rid of this. I'm going to create an empty data frame, and I'm wondering what to call it. I'm going to call it data. That's it, because I want to put all that. I want to store the data under the variable name data. Everything, all these files. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. That's for 1 year. So I'm going to say pd.data frame. And if I do this, there's nothing because the data frame is empty. All right. So I've created it and I've stored it in memory. So what I'm going to do now is what am I going to do? This file has been stored for me in a list. So I'm going to iterate through the list and then do something called concatenation. We haven't really talked about concatenation here. So the idea is, okay, I get the first file, I put it here, then I stick the next one underneath it. Then I do the same thing until I have all 12 stacked on top of each other, from top to bottom. That is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to use concatenate, PD concatenate. So, I mean, you could just do a Google search or do a search on YouTube and see what concatenation means and how it's done. I haven't really talked about it so much, but it's something you need to learn if you're going to be playing around with multiple files. All right, so I create my for loop. For file, I mean, you could use a list comprehension, but sometimes the for loop is just easier to remember. For file in files, these files here. So what do? We say, so we're going to say present. I'll just call it present file something. And I'm going to pick the first file. I'm going to read it into a CSV, right? So I'm going to say pd.read_CSV. Then I'm going to put this file. I'm picking the first file as I'm iterating through this list called files. And I read it. When I read it, I will say data equals to, that's this data, this empty data frame I've just instantiated. PD concat, PD.concat. Then I'll say this data, that's this one here, concatenate it with present, right? Now, if you don't want to know more about PD concat, I've not really talked about it. You can always do this. I've used it for quite some time, and I think I know a bit of what I can do with it without really checking the documentation, but you could check it. This is PD concat. You can see what you need to, the doc string is here, and you can see what you need to do to make sure your code is working. All right. So I've done the concatenation, and then it will be going round and round and round, and eventually it's going to print final one that is finished dot head. Then we'll see what it has. So I'm going to run it, and I'll wait for it to be going round, 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 the 12 of them. This is done. And here I have the head. All right, let's see how many rows we have. So we're going to call it data.info as usual. This is one of the best things to do. And we have, what is this? 196,850 entries. But here we can already see that we have null values. Why? Because this is less than this. I'm just use my notation tool here briefly, it's clearer. Everything here are the same, but they're all less than the entries. That means a lot of missing values. So what we're going to do, we're going to find how to handle that. So as usual, I'm going to carry my hammer that I've discovered how to use, and I'm going to put data in, and then I'll use my newly discovered method of chaining. I've been using it for quite some time, so it's not too new. And sorry, I think I made it too small, right? Now you can see everything I'm doing. All right. And then I'll start playing around with it. Going round and round, I'm waiting, hoping it works out well. So what am I going to do? First, I'm going to print that and see how it looks. The first thing I'm noticing is that I don't like column names that are separated by spaces. I prefer them to have underscore. That's just my preference. I like working with what do you call it? Column names without spaces. If it's just one name, like product, I don't have a problem. But if it's two words but separated with space, I don't like it. By spaces, separated by spaces, I don't like that. I just don't like it. It doesn't work well for me. And I can see that all the types here are objects. I wonder why. This is price. Why then isn't an object? It should be a number or something. This is order date, should be a date time object. Yeah. So let's see what we can do. Let's arrange that. So the first thing we need to do is we need to rename. I'm going to rename the columns, right? So I open bracket as usual. What happened here? Sorry, I don't know what happened. Rename, open bracket, and I don't know why you change. So I'm going to say columns, right? Rename, right? I'll say columns, and I'm going to pass to it a dictionary like that. And I'm going to also enter. This chaining is going to be confusing. So, yeah. Well, there's a reason why I love using the chaining method, because you can easily hash out some things. I'm going to name out the columns because I need to be picking them. I'm going to run this, hopefully no error. Good, you can see it's giving me everything I need. So now I can take that away. Take that away. So the first one is order ID. What I want to do is I will give it an underscore. Product is okay. I'm going to leave it the way it is. Second one is quantity ordered. I'm going to give it an underscore. Voila. Price each. You don't have to do this. Like I said, I just love doing it that way. Or the date, right? Yeah, no, I'm just good. Like I said, this training is gonna be horrible. The last one is purchase address. Oops, how did you get there? And this one comes underneath, and yeah, I think I'm done. I can take you up a bit. Good. I think that's all I'm done, right? And so I can get rid of this column. I don't need it here. And I can run this. Good. Order ID, it has an underscore, same. Well, I hope that's all of it. So I can do yeah. So these are my new columns. I just want them to be out here so that I know what I'm doing. So that has been done. Now I have one problem, right? Price each. Price each. And quantity ordered. I want to convert them to numeric. Yeah, that's what I want to do. So I have to understand where I am on the chain. Rename this C and this C. If I put my cursor here, I can see it's highlighted here too. So I know I've worked with this chain, I'm done with it. So I have to move out of it and put this. So what I do, I'm going to use the assign method. I want to create a new, I want to replace an old column. And the column I want to replace is quantity order. So I'm going to copy it exactly the way it is, write a quotation mark, and then put it here. I'm going to say it's equal to, what happened? I'm going to say it's equal to, sorry. I'm going to say it's equal to, I'm going to use something called a Lambda function. A Lambda function is also known as an anonymous function. Normally, when you're creating functions, let me just come here. You say def, you define a function, then you say maybe happy, for instance, then you open the bracket, pass any variable you need to work on. Then you put, we've worked on that before when we were dealing with those football players, the rich people. I just created one small function, put every code I've worked on underneath it so that when I just have that list, it just passes through. Because if I need to do that work over and over, I can't be creating that code from beginning. So we use functions to do that, right? To help us do these things. Now, A Lambda function is an anonymous function. That means it doesn't have a name. This one has a name. We call it happy, but an anonymous function has no name. So what I want to do is I'm going to use a Lambda function. I'm not going to give it a name. So how you do a Lambda function, you can watch videos about it on it. So the variable I want to pass into a Lambda function is called X. That is how you write it. Then I need to define what X does. So X that I'm going to pass in this instance is a data frame, and it is this data frame called data, because this data is a data frame. You remember when we created it here? So this data frame was empty here, but then we put all those files. So the whole 12 of them are one, and that's one data frame. So I'm going to pass that X. So X is this data frame called data. Then the column I'm interested in, right? The column I'm interested in is quantity ordered. And once I've done that, I need to convert everything into something called pd.numeric. You can check everything you don't understand that I'm doing here. So I am going to cover this in brackets. Then I'm going to write this method here called pd.numeric. Yeah, I think that's all I need to do with it, right? And it's getting too long, getting out of hand. So I can also open it like this. Yeah, I think. Then I run it. Oops, I'm getting an error. Invalid syntax. I don't need this here. So run it again. I'm getting, it's saying pandas has no attribute called numeric. Really? Why won't you have? Yep, I see my error here. It is too numeric. Still giving me error. Unable to parse string quantity ordered at present. Yeah, tend to have this problem sometimes. So what do I do? What do I do? What to do? What to do? What to do? I think, let me do something here. pd.numeric. Sorry, see, I'm making a mistake again. To numeric, if I run it, I want to see, errors. The argument is here with a comma, and there's errors here raised. That means I can, so it is default to, if there are errors, it should raise it. But what if I can, let me see what are the options that I have. Here are the errors. I have ignore, I have raise, which is default, and I have chorus, that's like to force it. All right, so I'm going to copy you exactly the way you are. And I'll come here immediately after the argument, and I'll put that. But this is the default value here. If I run it, it's going to give me that error. So I'll select one of these. I prefer this heavy language here. It's like to make it, force it. What am I doing? Like to force it. I think so. So I'm going to force it. So let me run it and let me see. Fingers crossed. So I had an interruption when I was recording this, but I took the liberty of working on the next one. I needed to change quantity ordered into a numeric, which I did. I showed you guys, and then I need to change price each. So what I did was I just copied this cell, pasted it here, and just changed the name of the column, price each, from quantity order to price each. And then same thing here. It's just the same thing, and I run it, and you can see the two of them have changed. So I'm trying to make progress now. I can delete this. I don't need you. I wanted to just know what was inside that method called to numeric. So the next thing I need to do is address. What I want to do is I don't want the full address. I just need the name of the state. But I want the name of the state to also have, the name of the city. I want the name of the city to also have the state in bracket. That is what I'm going to do. So this is how I'm going to play with it. I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to say data, open bracket, then run that. It's going to give me as many addresses as I can see, so that I can show you what I intend to do with it. The network is a bit slow. I don't know why. We'll just wait. It works. All right, so what am I trying to do? What I am trying to do here is, from the way these addresses came out, I want Seattle out, and I want, what do you call it? WA, which should be Washington State, out. Then I want them to be in one new column. So we're going to do what we've been doing before. We'll split it in two, and yeah, we'll now see what we need to do here. So do not be tired. We're going to use the assign stuff again. Yeah, we're going to use the assign stuff. Okay, let's come here and play around with it for a while. So we're going to say, you know how this goes, dot string dot split, and then we open, we split it base. This is on the what do you call it, the comma. So you can see we splitted it. Then of course we have this other attribute called expand, which equals true. Oops, sorry, capital T. Right. So the first thing we want to collect is city. City is 1. So if I subset it using the square bracket and I put 1, I have the name of the cities. And if I subset it 2, I have the name of Washington plus the zip code. All right, we'll handle that. So what do we do? So the first one we want is the one with 1. And that is this one. So I'm going to copy this code. I'm going to copy it like this, everything. Sorry, copy. And of course, I was trying to assign something. So I'm going to call it, I want to work with the city first. So method, I'll open bracket, and then I'll call it city. Then of course, I'll use my Lambda again, and I'll use X and Lambda X, and I'll paste that. But here I'm going to change that to X. That is all I need to change. Then I'll just tap this in so that it just stays in. And I think this is all I need to do. And let me use head here so that I just receive my data as I'm working with it. So head. Oh, wow. Everything is slow. Error. What did I do wrong? Who are you? Sorry, not you. You? Yep, I didn't close that bracket. What about you? What about you? All right. Well, let's see what the error is saying. Purchase address. What happened? Where did I get you from? Right. Yep, error corrected. And here we go. Seattle, Seattle, Dallas, Portland, Los Angeles, New York. That is what I wanted. So next thing I need to do is to copy the name of the state. And if I run, this is the name of the state. So invariably, I'm copying the same thing here. Copy, and I enter, cover this, and then not city now, I'll call it state. Everything else is correct, except this, right? This is supposed to be 2. Everything else is correct. All right, so I run this. It's done. So, yep, I can see that there's a column called state. All right. And one thing I know is that this Portland, okay, let's just check it. I think there are 2 Portlands. One is Portland, Oregon. The other one is Portland something. Wow, so many. How do I find that? Yeah. I need this cell for other manipulations. So let me leave it here first. So I will take it out, and then here I'm going to do .n unique. Which one is this? Does it count them? Yeah, just counts them. So let me. Oh, all right. Now I can see. So this is Portland, Oregon. This is another Portland, Oregon. So should I say value counts? Value counts. No, it is not showing everything. All I wanted to just see, I know that there are 2 Portlands in the US. That is what I'm trying to say, but there are too many unique values. And anyway, so what I want to do is, I think when I fix it, you'll see what I'm talking about. I just can't show it to you yet. So here you can just go away, go to rest while I continue. So I'm not done with this address yet. I've done the city, but I want the city to have the state close to it so that I can distinguish it when I'm working, right? And then I'll show you. I knew it because I've gone through the data set and I've watched Keith Galli work on it. So at least he alerted us to that. So this is what's happening here. There are 2 values here. Okay, let me just do this. I'll copy this. It's almost the same. And I'll drop it here. And it is state. But right now, we're not dealing with this. We're dealing with state. And let's hash this number for a while. So we're going to run it. And let's see what it gives us so that I can explain what I'm trying to do. This is my problem. I'm splitting based on space, not comma. There's no comma in that place. So again, I hash this part and I run it. Let's see what we get. Will it work? Yeah, I'm gonna have errors. So oh, not you. So we run again. Aha, see what I did? It used to have the zip code. Now it doesn't. That is what I want. So I'm still not done with it yet. So what's the next thing I'm going to do? I'm now going to merge these two together. And then I'll put the state name close to the city name, but with a bracket. And I'll use the Lambda function to do that. So I'm going to go back and assign to this city column. I'll do an assign function. Like I said, sorry if this is confusing you. I just discovered how to use a hammer, and I'm insisting that all the problems I have must be a nail. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pick df. Imagine two of them. So here we have city. Sorry. And here we have state, right? And once I've done that, this guy's in that bracket, I'll drop it down. I will now apply another lambda square function within a function. A bit confusing, isn't it? I'm now going to apply another lambda. So I'm going to use apply. Nope, sorry, apply has double P. Then I'll open my bracket because apply is a function, and then put another lambda, too many lambdas. Then I'll use the X that I'm used to. Then I will don't ask me what I'm doing. So X 0. So what is Z? What is this 0? I'm going to pick the contents of this city, which is like this example, this is Seattle, and assign it into this city. So I'm copying the contents of city and putting it in city, but right now I'm not doing it alone. I'm going to do it. The 0 represents city, and I'm going to do, okay, I think this, put this like this. Then I'm going to open bracket. Then I'm going to put X, and okay. I'm going to put this first, then I'll put X, then I'll open the square bracket, then I'll put 1. 1 representing the state, but the state is going to be in square brackets. You'll see it when I print it. Then I have to specify which axis I'm doing it on. Axis, and I'm doing it on columns. What I'm doing, this thing here is on a column. So let me run this and see. It's not red. That means it's working. It has gone. So it is red. So can you see that Seattle now has this WA. Dallas has TX. Portland has OR in Oregon. Los Angeles has, I don't know, California. New York City has New York, and so on and so forth. So now that we have done that, I hope you understand what I did. All I've just done here is I've learned how to use a hammer, and every problem has suddenly become a nail. If you want a simpler way to do what I just did, follow Keith Galli's videos. They're a lot simpler than mine. All right. The next thing I'm going to do is I think I need to drop a column, drop open bracket, and I'll say columns, and I'll say equals to, which one am I dropping? State. Sorry. And I'll run it again, because I'm done with that column. So I want it to go away. And yep, it's gone because I've captured the details that the state has, WA. All right. So let me, can I see how many states are there in the US? 50, right? Can I say value underscore counts, and let's see what it gives me. Did oh no. Okay, let me do it like this. I'll put city here because I just want the value counts for the city. I'm stressing my machine now. Once my machine is in the cloud, because it has to be doing that calculation over and over and over. There are some nonce here. So we have, you see, we have two Portlands. There's a Portland here for Oregon. There's Portland here for, what city is ME? I don't know. Portland, ME. And Atlanta, Georgia, Dallas, Texas, Seattle, Washington, Portland, Oregon, Austin, Texas, Dallas, Texas. So Portland, ME. Well, you can just check. So what I know is that there were two Portlands. Like I said, Keith Galli pointed it out initially. That's how I knew about it anyway. And yeah, so we've done some cleaning. See, cleaning, that's a problem with the job of data scientist. You spend the whole time cleaning. And that's why you need to know some certain tools that you need to use quite often. If you don't know, just do a search. Okie dokie, what we have sorted out the issue of the address. What else? Yeah. I think we'll soon be done with the cleaning. The next thing we need to do is the order date. You need to stop seeing this as an object. We need to now convert it to a date time object. That we are going to do. So what do we do? Where are you? Okay, so come here. Again, I'm going to assign it. This is just how you create a new column in Pandas. This is another way to do it. And so we're going to open. And then date. What is that? Order date, sorry. Need to correct that. Copy. So I'm gonna remember I use add when I was working for it here, when I was working with it here, I had to change it to order date. So what is that in front? How did you get there? Okay, oh yeah, it's the Lambda function, Lambda. I'm going to use my X, and I think there's a function to change it to pd.to. Is it capital D? Yeah, I have to check. Aha, there it is. Type hints, open bracket. And what am I changing? So I'm going to put my X. Where are you? Here. Then I'm going to do this. Sorry, I need to add this. And I think I need to coerce it again, like I've been doing. So I could just come here and copy. Yeah, because I've done this before. So what am I doing? Price each to numeric. I mean, it doesn't matter. I just wanted to look neat, not because it matters. Not too much anyway. So yeah, I think this is correct. This might take some time. That's why I'm doing the date one almost last, because it takes time to run, and if I have to keep going in circles, I'll be waiting. See, here it is. The green arrow is here, showing you it is working here, and oh, it worked. Sorry, I need to see head here or info. Which one? Info. It's info I'm worried about. But I didn't have errors. So I'm assuming it worked. So I don't want to run it again because it's going to slow. Or maybe I should. So they can see everything we're doing. See? Green here. Wait me when it's done. There we go. Aha, it's correct. It's a datetime object. We have our city, state has been deleted. All right, so the next one I'm going to do is going to slow. Look at it. So I'm going to create a new column and I'm going to call it month. I'm going to use the number of the month. So this is dot assign. I'm going to call the month just to represent a number. And once I call it I'm going to call my lambda. I'm going to call it X just for convention. And I'm going to take the X again, open bracket, and I'll just copy this guy here because that's the guy I need. That's why I created it. Order date, and once I've done the order date, I'm going to put a let's see, dot dt dot month, and I think I'm done. I have to keep waiting. So what it's going to do is that if the month that we're dealing with is January, it will bring out the number 1. If it's December, it will bring out the number 12. And if it's anything in between. So that has been done successfully, just like you cannot see the contents, but and you can see the value is a float. So I can change this info method to something else next time when I'm printing. So I will copy this because I need to do something similar. I want to bring out the month itself. Now I don't know why. Well, I can change it. I don't know why I use small m here. I can use big M here just for them to be the same. This is dt. Month name. And then I'm going to do this. What this would do is it's going to bring out the name of the month. So if here we got 1, the next column will give us the name January. There's a reason why I'm doing all this, because I played with the data before. So I want to do some plots and I want to see the name of the month, and then I want to arrange it from January to February. So I need the month number. Doesn't make sense. So I won't be running this because it's going to be slow. So I just want you to see that. Just take everything I'm going to do in good faith, that I know what I'm doing. So the next thing I want to do is to bring out, I wouldn't bring out the year because I don't really need it, but I will need, what happened here? I mean, nothing would happen, but just like I would need, what's the next thing I will need? I need the day. Anyway, so let me just copy this. Copy, drop it here. And I'll call this day, and I'll call this day. This will give me the day. Yeah, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. And then I also need the hour. So let's go this way, and hour, same thing here. Then when I do hour dt2, this formula, thanks to Stack Overflow, that's where everybody gets his cheat sheets from. Percentage H. Yeah. So I just run everything. If I have an error, the simple thing to do is to cover some things and put a hash. That's why I love the chain method, the method of chaining. Yeah, the date thing is gonna take some time. Once it passes that stressful part, it's gonna move down to rest quickly. Oh, I made a mistake, is printing info instead, but I don't have any errors. So you can see I have a float. Why is that hour an object? I think I'm almost done with this data. Then the next thing I want to do is I want to set the index to be order date. So copy you and put you inside. Set the index to order date. So now I can get rid of you, and I want to assign you to, what do I call you? I should call you DF. Yeah. This is my overall data frame. This is what I want to see. So I'm assigning everything I've done here into a data frame. And I'm going to print only the head. And let me run, as long as there are no errors. There we go. No errors. And the good thing is I've already stored this into this variable. My date has been stored here. The only problem is the beginning of my data set is from August. I wonder why, but I don't think it's going to affect my analysis, is it? No, it shouldn't. All right. So clear this one. DF. Let me see. There's something I did that I need to do. I want to see if there are values that are not there. Yeah, I can see lots of false. It's too much. So I'm going to do, let us sum all the missing values. So I can do drop NA. I can put in place here because normally when you're doing chaining, you try not to in place. But hey, who's gonna stop me? It's NA dot sum. Okay. Now I have no missing values because I deleted them here and I did it in place. The next thing I can do is to do info. So what we're going to do now is the next place we're going to import matplotlib. There you go. Type hints. Simple. This is all we need to import. Then we will try to do some plots, right? So I'm gonna do, sorry, I'm gonna harass you guys with this chain method. I'm gonna call it sales, and it's gonna be equals to lambda again. Yep, there you go. I'm gonna call it X. You can call it whatever you want. And I'm gonna say X, open brackets, show me something, give me some hints. Quantity ordered times X price each. You know, I wish I had not used this price each. I wish I'd used something else. Right? And if I run it like this, what will I get? Yep, it's been created. A new data frame, right? Let me see. I mean, a new column. Yeah. And that column is a product of this guy and this guy. Cool. So what do I do to that? What do I do with that now? I can say df. I'll just reassign it to the same df.head. I'll just assign it to the same data frame, to the same variable, and we're done. I've printed the 4. So so I've seen what I wanted to do. So I can do a group by month, sales, and then I sum it. Then I'll see which one is which. So I can say, should I do it like this? I'm talking about DF. Yeah, I'm talking about DF, DF dot group by, and we'll do it by months capital, right? Then we'll subset by sales. Then we do dot sum. What do we get? Oh, I love that. What I can do is I can put a list here. Then capital M. I'm going to capital M, small m. I'll do this group by like this. Ooh, I didn't put this comma. Nobody likes errors. Just keep doing errors. Now, the reason why I did it, this is now you can see why I had to bring this number so that you can arrange it for me in order. That's the only reason why I did that. So you can now see the sales per month. Let me reset the index. Run it. Is it still in order? Yeah, still in order. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. If I didn't use this numbers, it's not going to. Yeah, that's what I noticed. Now I can store it under a variable name. So I can call that variable name monthly sales. And well, if I want to see the data, I can say monthly sales. Ooh, make it dot head. I'm not using sample like I used to. And I have the first 4 months. What month has the highest number of sales? What month would that be? I'm just copy this guy here. Let me play around with it. So if I say monthly sales, is that to do it? Dot sales dot max. Will it work? Yeah, it did. All right, so I'm going to subset by. It has to be true somewhere. Look at it, there's true here. Shouldn't this be sales too? Yeah, this is what I want. Then I can cover this in square brackets and put the monthly sales outside. That's going to give us one single number. There we go. December has the highest number of sales. Well, what did we expect? In the Western world, Christmas is when people spend more money. So right now, I think I should plot it. And I'll plot it in order. That is why I wanted the names. I'm sure you're getting the drift now. So how do I plot? How do I plot? How do I plot? PLT dot bar. I want a bar chart. Did I save you? Yep, you are here. So on the y-axis, what do I want? Ah, everything's coming out. I want the month. And then, is that the x-axis or the y-axis? The x is a horizontal, so that's the x-axis. So it's x first before y. And then again, come on, type hints. Then on the y-axis, what do I want? I want the sales. So I can run that. You can see what I'm doing here. But I can see this is January and I can make out this is December. That shows that everything is going on fine, but I need to add a few things. I have to add a label. So I'm going to call it plt.y label, right? So what do I call it? Sales in US dollars. US dollars. What else can I add? I'm going to add an X label. X label. And we're going to call it, let's be uniform. Month. Now, what we need to do is to turn this so that we can read it. I'm sure there's a way to do that. It's going to be plt.xsticks. And if you say monthly, come on. Yep, there you go. Monthly sales. Where are you? Okay, monthly sales, and it's gonna be month. What are we gonna do? We're gonna no, there. We're gonna rotate you. So rotation. I'm gonna say it is vertical. Then I'm putting that semicolon just to suppress the text output. And voila. Let me see, what if I do plt.show? I know some code used to have it. Does it? Oops, made a mistake. It still worked. Oh, anyway, I think we've done this one. I really don't need this guy anymore. Semicolon here just to suppress the text output that was here. Let me hash this. Let me show you what I mean. Can you see all this? Suppressing them. Why they come out, I don't know. All right. That is in order. So we found the month that has the highest number of of sales, the month, December. So what about cities? what city has number of sales at any given time? It's the same thing. Come here. This is it. I do my df. What happened? Dot group by. Now I'm talking about city. And then I subset by what? Subset by sales again, right? Then I say sum. There we go. What do we have here? Data frame, or do I have to reset the index to make it a data frame? I think I need to. Dot reset underscore index, open bracket, and yep, it's a data frame, and I cleared it. I just want my city out. Yeah, so here we can see the Portland and the Oregon here. Interesting. So I think I can save that under a variable. Maybe we'll call it sales by city. City sales. City sales. And then what do we do? Do the same plot. So all I just need to do is to copy this. Paste it here. Copy this one. Put it in the appropriate column. Monthly sales becomes city. Yeah, so this will not be month anymore. This will be city. Sales in US dollars, this will be city. And I think I'll leave this like this. Change it to city. Suppress output with the semicolon, and then I run. There's an error. City, what happened to the city? Yeah, that's what I wanted you to turn. Oh, this is it. Monthly sales. That's why I didn't rotate it. Good. See, the cities are aligned. San Francisco. This shop owner is making a killing in San Francisco. Oh boy. df dot group by. So we so what do we use here? I think we have where do we have yep, we have hour here. We'll do the hour by sales. Then we do the count. Instead of summing, we count now. This is midnight and down to 23. Okay. What do we do? Should we reset index? I think we should. We're always doing it. Reset index. Let's say looks becomes data frame. This is our repetition, but it doesn't matter. It does not matter. So I can give it a name and then move on from there. So should I call it hourly sales now? Hourly sales. Hourly sales. Let's just steal for this. Okay. So if I say hourly sales dot and largest, I want to see the largest. 4 largest and by sales. So what this is going to do is going to give us the 4 greatest times where people tend to buy, tend to visit all the shops. When's the best time to, I don't know, when is the best time to have customers? Maybe that's when you can display your specials or you can do some adverts. 7 p.m. in the evening, 12 noon, 11 o'clock, then 18. That would be 6 p.m. in the evening. That is quite telling. Why is that? Why is that? So I'm going to do a small plot. So this time I'm not plotting a bar chart. What am I plotting? Hourly sales. Let's make it hour. Let's start my X. Hourly sales. Let's make it by sales. Let's just see how it looks. Good, no error. Lucky me. All right, let's start giving it some labels. So plt.y label. What do I call the Y label? Transactions. Should I call it that? And plt.x label. What do I call that? Okay. I want to show grid. plt.grid. I want to show a grid. So it's not just all plain like this. And I will suppress the output. So let me do this for this. Any error? No errors. So I can see the highest here, 11.2, and then this other one, 17.18. Okay. What else do I need to do? Nothing. Everything is set. Everything is set. What if I use index here? Let me see. Just an experiment. What if I use the index here instead? Oops. I mean, that is so wrong. I wonder why you had to cut it. Maybe that's how it works. The reason why I use index here, because I noticed that the index and the hour is the same. Also, I said, let me try index. Yeah, that's why I said that. If you want to know more, want to see a simpler way to do it, check out Keith Galli's YouTube video. I'm sure his took longer than mine, but I just wanted to play around with it in a different form from his. And this is what we have. I can just do Control S and let me save it. I don't know why it's not saving. Come on. At least we've gotten some insights from this. I don't think we should go beyond this. We could, but this is just an example of stuff you can do with pandas. You can plot, you can display some stuff, you can show your customers what you know and how to do a few things. You can convert this whole function for cleaning, this whole code here for cleaning into one big function, because assuming this company hires you and every month it sends you sales data, you don't want to start writing this code again. You just wanted to concatenate it and move ahead. You can play around with it, make a function if you want to. It's a bit late here and I'm really sleepy. So I'm gonna just wrap up here and I'll edit this video and put it up for you guys to play around with and have some solid grasp of some pandas cleaning and plotting. There's more to pandas, but we might just wrap up on pandas here. And like I said, I probably won't use Colab again in my next videos. I'll just go back to JupyterLab because there's some things I'm missing in JupyterLab that I'm not getting in Colab, like the ability to hit tab and then it gives you hints. I'm sure there's a way to do it in JupyterLab. I don't want to confuse the knowledge in my head, so I didn't bother researching. If you want to research, you can do that. If you want to install JupyterLab and Jupyter Notebook and other forms of Python on your system, you can just Google or do a search on YouTube, you'll get how to do it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you're gonna, hit the like button, subscribe, notification bell. I'm hoping that when I make another video, you're gonna be one of the first to be notified. And yes, I will see you soon. Bye-bye.